Douglas family's history of Dunedin is a very important part of the development of history. In fact, as a matter of fact, it was the Douglas family who gave the name of Dunedin to our town.
I was never particularly interested in history, but it's fascinating now to come back and see all the areas that are still here that were in existence in those days, and to see the improvements that have been made in some of the areas that were not all that nice.
I came back for this dedication today, and yesterday my mom, Joan Deemer, and I came just to get kind of the lay of the land here. And when we drove up, it's the first time that either of us had seen the property without the homestead, without the home, where she was born on here. And we both kind of teared up. It was kind of a powerful scene just to see that. But we quickly went from that sense kind of loss to appreciation for what is here now. And it was a super quick transition from it's gone to this is here and we love it. And we both, I think, had the same thoughts going through our minds. Growing up, our family did visit frequently, once a year at least, and so as all my whole childhood I remember coming here. And I do remember, we lived in Georgia most of that time, and I remember we'd get out of the car after the long road trip, heading down and opening the door and just stepping under the shade of this oak tree and feel that breeze and be in the shade and hear the wild birds.
This tree is one of the older trees in the city. We obviously have a handful of older trees that are, similar in beauty and stature as this tree. But you'll notice that the tree has more of an excurrent growth. It has more of a wider pattern to it. And I kind of time-stamped that with the development of this area. If this was more of a forest-like setting, you would have seen more of a vertical growth with this tree. The tree in its state right now is in kind of a state of idle. It's not producing a lot of new shoot tip growth. It's not producing a lot of new foliage. It's kind of maintaining what it has. So I was really excited that we were able to obtain this park, preserve this tree, because any new development or even pruning on this tree could be detrimental to it.
So we now know that the oak tree is going to be protected forever. So we're glad about that. As I come here, I do think about the lake that we used to enjoy here. I'm a little sad that we don't have the property anymore. Because this was our homestead. I was sad to see that it had to be torn down. But I might mention the fact that years ago, they told my father that the house had termites, the slow-eating termites, not the subterranean type, and that they needed to tent the house and treat it. And my dad said, well, I'm not moving out. He said, I'm not moving out. You're not going to tent my house. So they didn't treat it. So the termites continued to work on the house and also on the garage apartment that sat here. And so I think the buildings were probably not worth saving as historic buildings, because I think the termites pretty much ate them up.
Today in Dunedin, we truly embrace our history, as we are very well known for. We honor the Douglas family, not only for their contribution of the land, but for their part in contributing to our community for over many years. One of the things that we loved about this property was the old tree. And knowing how old it is and how much we didn't want to see it go away to development at some point. We are a Tree City, USA, and we do value especially our grand oaks. And we value the fact that we have pocket parks in the middle of an urban area. There is going to be a major development across the street that is going to be big and towering. And as our CRA advisor has told us before, this really is a boulevard and we don't want to treat it as a thoroughfare. So having a park here really softens that tone and speaks to who Dunedin is.
I just wanted to thank the city of Dunedin for accepting the property, for the City Commission for accepting it, and for it being preserved as parkland. Our family is a family that likes nature a lot and appreciates. We're not about development, and so this is indicative of who our family is. We appreciate the wild trees, the wild birds, the animals, and we want it to stay just like this. So we're so thankful that the city of Dunedin has taken it and made it into this beautiful little green spot in an urban area.